What's going on, guys? Just a little, late night random kind of situation that I thought was kind of interesting. So I basically have this. I was playing around with the trainer thing here, and I'll just kind of show you guys the result that actually got me to the screen. So it was the low jack opens to 5 big blinds, standard club dub, 3 blinds with antes, and it's set to NL25 rake, so like pretty high rake. The low jack is set to it opens to 5 big blinds. The cutoff calls were 800 big blinds deep. It did not like my call of ace 10 offsuit from the big blind, getting a pretty good price and only one player behind, not a lot of opportunity to squeeze or to get squeezed. So I was really surprised by that because in a lot of other examples, like you'll easily flat here from out of position against a single opponent. So against 2 people, I was like, wait, you really don't flat the ace 10 offsuit there? So I opened it up just to look at it. And you don't, obviously it's right here. You don't even flat ace jack, which is actually really surprising. Ace jack is just a pure fold here. But then I was like, all right, well, let's click off here with the fold here. Let's fold the cutoff and then come back into the big blind and see what we play. And now the range is like much more wide, what I would expect to see. We're at 18.7. Here's a cool thing too. We're at 18.7. The 3-bet is at 5.3. Put the cutoff call back in here to click back in here. The 3-bet is actually exactly the same at 5.3, but now the call percentage is way lower at 11.5. When I would have thought kind of traditionally, more odds, like more money in the pot, better odds, I can call with a wider range. But after kind of like looking at the actual cutoff call range, what I feel like it's really saying with a hand specifically like ace 10 offsuit for us when we're in the big blind here is that it has all the suited aces, and then it's also flatting pretty much every ace queen suited, a vast majority of ace jack offsuits, and some ace king, some ace queen, and then it's just going to be generally hard to play against some of these other hands as well. I just thought that was actually rather interesting because it just felt like kind of a no-brainer call, especially when this guy folds. We can easily call. It's a very clear play. You play this 100% of the time. You even 3-bet it some percentage of the time. But when the cutoff is in, it is now a pure fold. And I just thought that was really interesting because of how limited our range apparently gets. I would say, conventionally speaking, I personally would have thought the exact opposite. The more people in the pot before you, the wider of a range you can call. But being deep, I think that also probably negatively impacts things. Like here, let's change this real quick to 200, so like standard 100 straddles. We are, all right, so low jack, raises, cutoff, calls. We're in the big, I think it's 4 now, not 5, but whatever. And now, with smaller stack sizes, we actually are calling here 100% of the time, which I guess that's what I would have done as a default. So I guess that is fine for a normal play, but what this is saying is when you're extra deep that you, oh wait, I'm sorry, it's chippy V, what do you call it? Rake, not what I have it normally set to. And also let's put it back to 5. Let's put it back to 5. So we go low jack raise, cutoff call, we're in the big blind, and what do we get to do? Now, so we're still not playing the ace 10 offsuit. Our calls are actually even way down to 8% because we're not as deep, and we are playing ace jack some percentage of the time now, I guess just purely for our big card equity. So that is, can I just change it right back to, was it 8? No, it was 16, right? Because that would be 800 deep, or was it, here, let me see real quick. No, it should be just the 800 straight. Just the 800 straight, right? Let's do it one more time here. There, call. And so even back here, yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was 11.5, 5.3. So if you lower the depth, the stack depth, it does allow for a call. But if you, if you lower the stack depth, it allows a call for ace jack. But even at that point, it does not warrant a call for ace 10. So good to know. But even then, though, if we go back to our example, heads up, though, you take that fold away. That's the real thing that surprised me, because heads up, you are still now 100% able to play your ace 10 offsuit even at just the 200 big blinds deep. So it's really the adding of the other player that kind of threw me off the most, because I really thought that more players, more money in the pot, play a wider range. But what this is saying is how much this player's range is kind of hurting our hand specifically, that we can no longer play, the hand that we would want to play. So I just thought that was cool, and I was curious on your guys' opinions, or if you had any questions or comments. But yeah, we'll go from there. See ya. I'm editing the video right now, and A, sorry for not having it in frame, properly the whole time, and B, I kind of just wanted to add one final point that I don't know why I didn't really touch on. I feel like it was kind of an obvious thing, but it's really still worth talking about. But in addition to the cutoff having a range that kind of messes up our range, it's also another player. Now we're not just heads up, so of course I guess we have to be more conservative of our overall range. That one is a little bit more basic. for sure. Like I was trying to construct their actual range and seeing like how, or not construct, but like deconstruct their range and seeing how it really personally negatively impacts what we're trying to do and why it goes from a call without the cutoff calling to a fold with the cutoff calling. But I didn't mention the very obvious fact that, of course, yes, now we are going to be 3 ways out of position versus 2 ways out of position. So that is inherently going to be, if we're going to win the pot, say 50% of the time when it's, out of 2 players, but, you skew it to less than 50 because we're out of position, call it like, maybe a 40-60 advantage. Now, instead of it being 33-33, maybe we're at like, say, a 25%, win percent advantage just based on the players in the pot, but given our position disadvantage. So that was a very obvious thing that I should have mentioned, but I didn't. I figured it was kind of not even worth saying at first, but after listening to the video, I realized I never even touched on it, and I wanted to at least mention it once. So, all right, that's it. Thank you. Love you guys. See you next time.